He was a god among men, a king who never lost a battle, a conqueror who reshaped the known world before the age of 33. And yet more than 2,000 years after his death, no one knows where he's buried. This is the enduring mystery of Alexander the Great, a man who demanded worship as a living deity, but whose remains, it seems, were swallowed by time. How is it possible that the tomb of the most famous general in ancient history, a man whose empire stretched across continents, has vanished? Welcome to History Crossroads, where the past is never truly buried. Today we follow the trail of one of antiquity's most elusive tombs. But before we begin, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Join us as we explore the forgotten, the lost, and the mysteries that still haunt the pages of history. Alexander's life is almost too extraordinary to believe. Born in 356 BCE in the Macedonian city of Pella, Alexander was the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias. His mother told him he was descended from Achilles. His father told him he was destined to conquer the world. Aristotle, his tutor, told him to rule with reason and mythology. At 20, after his father's assassination, Alexander took the throne. Over the next 11 years, he would crush the Persian Empire, claim the Egyptian throne, march across Mesopotamia, and fight all the way to the borders of India. He founded more than 20 cities, several of them named Alexandria. By the time he died in 323 BCE, he had built the largest empire the world had ever seen. But it was what happened after his death that birthed a mystery. Alexander died suddenly in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II in Babylon. Ancient sources offer varying theories: fever, poisoning, malaria, even typhoid. Plutarch claims his body showed no signs of decay for days, leading some to believe he had become a god. But while his generals debated what to do next, one thing was clear: whoever controlled his body could claim his legacy. That legacy, godhood, kingship, divine rule, was powerful. In the ancient world, bodies mattered. The physical remains of a king were more than just a corpse. They were a symbol of power and divine favor. According to Diodorus Siculus, the body was preserved in honey to prevent decay. A grand golden sarcophagus was prepared. The plan was to return Alexander to Macedonia for burial in the royal tombs of Aigai, as his father Philip had been. But that plan was hijacked. Enter Ptolemy. One of Alexander's most trusted generals, and perhaps his most calculating, Ptolemy had other ideas. He diverted the funeral procession and brought Alexander's body to Egypt, first to Memphis and later to Alexandria, the city Alexander had founded near the Nile. Why? Because in a world now ruled by rival generals vying for pieces of the broken empire, Ptolemy needed legitimacy. Possessing the body of Alexander would give his rule divine sanction. It wasn't enough to claim Alexander's legacy. You had to hold his body to prove it. Plutarch writes that Ptolemy took possession of the body and laid it in Memphis. Later, it was moved to Alexandria, to a structure called the Soma, a blend of mausoleum and shrine. There, Alexander would be venerated like a god. For centuries, emperors and kings made pilgrimages to the tomb. Julius Caesar reportedly wept before the body. Caligula stole Alexander's breastplate. Septimius Severus ordered the tomb sealed. His son Caracalla visited, dressed as Alexander himself. But after that, silence. By the 4th century CE, the tomb disappears from the historical record. Wars, earthquakes, religious shifts, and urban sprawl overtook Alexandria. The Soma was lost. So what happened to it? Where is Alexander now? Let's explore the theories. The most commonly accepted theory is that the tomb lies buried somewhere beneath modern Alexandria. The problem? Ancient Alexandria is now under a sprawling city of 5 million people. The once regal royal quarter is now layered beneath apartment buildings, roads, and public squares. Archaeologists believe the Soma may lie under the modern Nabi Daniel Mosque, or in the vicinity of the Latin Patriarchate of Alexandria. In the mid-19th century, a Greek merchant named Ambroise Shilitsi claimed to have found a chamber beneath the mosque. But political tensions and lack of scientific access halted the investigation. In the years since, no formal excavation has confirmed or refuted his claim. Others point to a far stranger theory, Siwa Oasis. Located hundreds of miles west of the Nile, deep in Egypt's western desert, Siwa was home to the Oracle of Ammon, where Alexander had once journeyed and was allegedly declared the son of Zeus. In 1995, Greek archaeologist Liana Suvaltsi claimed she had found a Greco-Egyptian tomb in Siwa, complete with columns and inscriptions suggesting a royal burial. She believed it was Alexander's. The Egyptian government, however, dismissed the claim, citing lack of conclusive evidence and inconsistencies with historical sources. But Suvaltzi maintains her position, arguing that the tomb's isolation matches Alexander's wish to be buried at the oracle's sacred site. Other speculative claims have emerged over the years. Most recently in 2019, when construction workers in Alexandria uncovered a massive black granite sarcophagus. Excitement exploded across the media. Could this finally be it? When opened, it revealed not one but 3 skeletons floating in rancid water. Likely Roman soldiers. No golden sarcophagus, no great king, and some historians offer another possibility, that the tomb was deliberately destroyed. In 365 CE, a massive earthquake and tsunami devastated Alexandria. Historical records note destruction of temples, homes, and public buildings. If the Soma was still standing, it may have collapsed or been buried. Later, with the rise of Christianity and the Islamic caliphates, many pagan sites were abandoned, repurposed, or lost to time. Could the tomb have been dismantled, its pieces scattered, its location eventually forgotten? It's not just possible, it's plausible. Others ask an even more provocative question. Was Alexander ever buried in Alexandria at all? While many ancient writers mention the tomb, none claim to have seen it firsthand. Their accounts are often written centuries later. It's possible, some argue, that the stories of the Soma were an invention of the Ptolemies, a tool of propaganda to reinforce their dynastic power, a sacred myth to strengthen a fragile regime. But if it was just a myth, what do we make of the accounts from Caesar, Caligula, or Caracalla? Why would emperors travel thousands of miles to visit a fabrication? The consistency of the sources, from Strabo to Lucan, suggests the tomb did exist, and that its disappearance is one of history's greatest losses. Modern science may hold the key. Today, researchers use ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR, and satellite mapping to scan under Alexandria. Non-invasive archaeological methods have revealed massive underground voids and possible chamber outlines. But full excavations are rare. The city's dense population, religious sensitivities, and political tensions make large-scale digs nearly impossible. Yet hope remains. In 2021, Egyptian officials launched a new effort to map underground structures in central Alexandria. Some historians believe the window for discovery is narrowing. Urban development and climate erosion could bury what's left permanently. So we are left with questions. If the tomb still exists, what might it contain? Artifacts from Babylon, Macedonian royal relics, Greek inscriptions. Could it help solve the mystery of Alexander's sudden death? Could it tell us more about how the ancient world mourned a man who tried to become a god? Or has the tomb already been found, its significance unrecognized, misidentified, misplaced? The answer may still lie beneath our feet. Until then, Alexander remains both legend and ghost. His empire long crumbled, his cities renamed, his gods forgotten. But his story endures. He died young, burned brilliantly, and vanished into the fog of history. The search for his tomb is more than a treasure hunt. It is a quest to reconnect with a figure who altered the course of civilization. Leave us a comment. Where do you think Alexander's tomb lies? Is it under the streets of Alexandria? Hidden in the desert sands of Siwa? Gone forever? Thanks for watching. And remember, some stories may be buried, but they're never truly gone, as long as we keep searching.